How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to Tab Theory. Today I want to talk to you about how to read the tablature and the charts that I'm making for Tab Theory. So what are tabs? Tabs, or tablature as they're actually called, is basically a system to read music on a fretted instrument, a fretted stringed instrument, without having to actually read notes. And basically it's broken down into a series of lines with numbers on them. And each of the lines represents a string, and each of the numbers represents the fret on that string that you're supposed to play. Those of you coming from guitar or bass, or even mandolin, will already be pretty familiar with the tablature system, just maybe not the whole setup on the stick. So why tabs instead of sheet music? Honestly, it's because I think tabs are quicker to pick up. There are plenty of players who play a tab guitar as a hobby. In fact, I think most tab guitar players are hobbyists. And not everybody wants to go through the years-long journey that it takes to become fluent in reading music. And there's nothing wrong with that. They shouldn't be excluded from the instrument just because of that. With tablature, you can kind of look at it, and it's a very clinical breakdown of exactly what you're supposed to do in a very efficient way. And I like it a lot. In fact, since music is a hobby for most people, and guitar and bass are some of the most popular instruments in the world, I would say that more people read tablature than they do read music. So why should it be any different from the stick? I've also made a number of graphs of straight-on views of the stick fretboard with the shapes of chords and scales on them. This is because, in my opinion, the stick is a tremendously geometrical instrument. And when I say that, I mean that scale shapes and chord shapes and interval shapes and, all of these things appear again and again all over the stick. With these, you can get an idea of exactly what to look for as you play through each subject that we happen to be focusing on. So with that out of the way, let's take a closer look. So, I think the tabs are pretty self-explanatory. You've got 5 lines on each side, and string 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This space in the middle represents the separation between the two sides, and then you've got strings 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 respectively, right? So this is the treble side, and over here is the bass side. You'll have your key signature. It's 5/4 because in the pentatonic forms there are 5 notes per form, and so to get these to fit evenly in one bar, it just made sense to put them in 5/4. And then, so taking a look at these numbers, we go down to the 5th string, right? That's what this is here. And we've got 8, which is fret 8 on the 5th string, 11, fret 11 on the 5th string. This here indicates the rhythm, this is 8th notes, right? Then the 8th fret on the 4th string, then the 10th fret, 8th fret on the 3rd string, 10th fret, 8th fret on the 2nd string, 10th fret, 7th fret on the 1st string, and then followed by the 10th fret, right? And you're reading from left to right, just like you would with music. These here, the PL, PR, 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 PL, that are sitting above them, indicate what finger you should be using. So P is your pointer, L is your little finger, R is your ring finger, and then for your middle finger you'll see an M. That's pretty much it. It's exactly the same for the bass side. When you're seeing two things with when you're seeing two sides playing together, just make sure that all your rhythms line up. But I think it's tabs. It's pretty self-explanatory. Okay, so these are the charts. As you can see, this is a straight-on view of the stick neck. This is actually a photo that I took of my Chapman stick, and I made a whole bunch of blanks of varying quadrant lengths, between one fret marker and the other, depending on what I'm trying to do. We've got our strings, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all labeled as such. And then we've got these dots. Well, what the hell are these dots? Well, to start with, this is the shape of minor pentatonic form 1, right? And the dot, each dot is a note involved in that pentatonic shape. Now, you're not going to play these all at once. This is just the total shape, basically the all of the potential notes that sit within that pentatonic form, right? And these white dots are your root notes. So you've got your root, your minor third, then on the next string is your perfect fourth, your perfect fifth, on the next string is your minor seventh, and then we're back to the root, and then you've got your minor third, your perfect fourth, your perfect fifth, and your minor seventh, and then up here would be the root again. Again, I think it's pretty self-explanatory, and it will help make understanding the geometry of all of this a lot simpler. So that's pretty much all there is to it. Anytime that there's something different, like specific technique marks or specific fingerings or something like that, I've got it marked down. I try and keep everything as efficient and informative as possible. There's kind of a line there. You can get over-informative and you wind up losing the efficiency of the message, and it's really easy to get lost, or you could put not enough information in and people won't know how to interpret it. So I'm working to, I work hard to try and find that balance between the two. That's really about it. So, hit the tabs hard and yeah, keep exploring.